this was the first time I was going to interview a president. I was still pretty young, and it was going to be pretty exciting. And it was going to be a 45-minute interview is how we carved it out, because we were going to cover all the domestic and international agenda. And it was going to be in the Oval Office. Night before the interview, I get a call from a young deputy to Joe Lockhart, who's now going to be a fellow as well, who said, hey, this interview tomorrow, could we, let's see, we're looking at the schedule here, some things have changed. Could we scrunch this down to about 15 minutes? You know, and so immediately it's like this gut punch, and do it over the phone. And as a reporter, you know, and if you're on the political side, you know that reading the body language and getting up close with someone, especially a president, you know, makes all the world of difference. And doing it over the phone is sort of worthless, as Steve will tell you. Well, you can still get good information, but compared to sitting down in the Oval Office, obviously. So I'm stuttering and figuring out what's going on. And my big exclusive that I had delivered for roll call was now melting before my eyes. And I said, well, you know, because in addition to the interview, I always tell people I wanted to get a picture of myself in the Oval Office for my mom, because I didn't have that. And I know Frank's got these pictures on his wall, so he can't laugh at me. So bottom line is she said, okay, well, you know, we can't just settle this tonight. Let's just talk in the morning. I said, well, what's going on here? I'm feeling like roll call's getting screwed here. What's going on? It's not you. Something's come up. So okay. All right, so you know the rest of the story. I don't even need to tell the rest of the story. So the next morning I get up, and I actually used to go to the doorstep, and Shirley will tell you I don't do this anymore, and pick up the Washington Post. We now read it on a Kindle. One little digital change. And I actually picked up the Washington Post, and it literally on my doorstep said, Clinton had affair with intern, lied about it, may lead to impeachment. And I instantly thought, there goes the exclusive, he's never going to do an interview. And you know, one of the lessons I learned as well is sort of, a lot of times in politics, your first instinct can be wildly wrong. And you probably know this already, because just turn on CNN or MSNBC or Fox after some big event and you know, roll the TiVo, and then come back a week later, come back a month later. You know, a lot of time, I mean, I remember at the time people saying that Al Gore was, you know, meeting with Dianne Feinstein secretly. You know, there was rumors flying around that, you know, they were secretly meeting because, you know, Clinton was going to resign within 24 or 48 hours. Gore was going to be president, and they would have to pick a female vice president to sort of dig the Democratic Party out of this huge scandal. Anyway, hours pass, and I remember, you know, as a nervous young reporter trying to figure out, and I call, finally screwed up the coverage to call, because Lockhart was deputy still, and McCurry was the lead guy. And I called for McCurry, and I was, you know, and the White House press office was sort of, there was all this noise and all this, and I was thrown on hold, and I'm on hold literally for 4 or 5 minutes, and finally someone comes back and says, McCurry has left the building.